This afternoon, I'm trying something different. So I found some roads on the mountains behind me. I actually saw them when I was up on the mountains on the other side. And I haven't done any reconnaissance of the area. I believe there is a mine back over on these hills, right back over here, but I don't know. So I have a map of the area with me. It doesn't give me any names of mines, but it has a couple markings on them to show that there were some tunnels. So instead of trying to do all my research beforehand, I'm gonna go out and see what I can find first and then work back from there. This is a different way to do exploration, and it's a way that probably a lot of professionals wouldn't advise. But I know the area really well, and so I'm not too worried about getting lost. It would be kind of nice to have an experience at a mine and just be able to explore it without knowing its name, without knowing its history, without knowing anything about it, and just feel some wonder and some awe about the mine and try to feel what it was like for the people that worked out there. So I will take some more videos as I get back there, and let's go see what we can find. So this is the road that I saw back from that mountain back there, and then again from that hillside over there. And as far as I can tell, it winds its way up through that draw right there, and then around back over here. I don't know what's back there, but that's part of the fun. So we're gonna see what we can find. If we look at it closely, it hasn't been driven on in quite a while. It's pretty washed out from the rain and from the snow melt. So this should be really fun. There really is no way around the fact that no matter where you go in this part of the country, open mines, or really do anything else, there's only one way to get there, and that's up. It just goes to show how resilient our ancestors were. The top of the road. And you see that. Shouldn't say the top, this is one part of the road. Now, I think that we have to continue to go up the road that way to get to the mine that I believe is back here. So we'll just keep going. So here we are at the end of the first road, and there aren't any mines. No mines to be seen. So we got a road right there. It comes down and just stops. Basically right here. There's a little path, but that's not a continuation of the road. I guess we'll go back the other way. See if we can find it on the other side of the mountain. So in an attempt to get a better idea of where the mine is up here, I'm walking out onto this spur to see if I can get a lay of the land and seeing the evidence of it. Right now, if you look, this little pass right there, that's where I came up. I was all the way over in there. There's a road that goes up and over and down there. Don't know what's there. And on the other side of this ridge here, there's a road that you can see driving along the main road out there. I'm thinking that I should be better served to go up and over that ridge over there than to continue to explore out this way. But we'll see. I've only got an hour or so of daylight left before I need to head back. So I made it down to the spur. No mines down in here. So I think that my best bet is back on those on the other side of that ridge over there, right there, or in between this front ridge and that back ridge. So I'm gonna have to go back up through here, along there, over and down, and see. It is about 5:20. I don't know if I'm gonna have enough time to do that tonight, but we'll give it a shot. Top of that hill I showed you earlier, and I'll go ahead and kind of give you an idea where we are, or where I am, excuse me. So this is the road down there I initially came up. We followed it all the way around, and all the way around and back there. Didn't find any mines. So then we came down. I'll put these down. We came down and went out on that hill right there and down. See if we could see anything. Didn't see anything. Went on this one, that ridge right over here. Didn't see anything. So came back down the road right there and all the way up here. Over on this side, it looks like we have some promising signs down there. So we're gonna walk down there and see what's up. So while we're up here, I figured I'd point out one more mine that you can see down in the distance. And that's one of my favorites in the area, and that is the Liberty Gem mine. And it is right there, that little bald spot is. You can see all the cuts they made in the side of the hills there. There's a head frame that's still standing from the vertical shaft that drove straight into the ground. There's a cabin over there, and there's a bunch of remnants of buildings and trucks and different things. There's tunnels and cuts that go all the way up in there and actually wrap up that part of the hill. And while we're up here also, might as well take a look at the absolutely stunning evening. We've had days of rain. This is the first real sunshine we've had quite a while. So I think that we're getting somewhere. If you can see right there, that looks like, it actually looks like a cigar pack. I'm gonna leave it in place. But I found quite a few of those. They have hinged lids on them, which it looks like that has. And I've seen them kind of all over the place. So, as I make my way down the hill, I think that there might be something up here. Every time you find remnants like that, it's a pretty good sign that there were mines and miners out here. All right, I made my way down from the top of the hill back up there, and this is what I'm seeing. So down here, where that pine tree is, which is always a really good sign that there was a mine, because a lot of times water will continue to come out of it after they've closed it back up. And trees that normally won't grow on these hillsides will grow where there was a mine because of the water. So that pine tree right there, that's sitting right on top of what looks like a bunch of cuts, indoor tunnels. I can't really tell from here. If we look down in here, we can see that there's another cut, and then there's a big cut, looks like a shaft, and then there's also a waste dump down there. And then there's some more right there. So my initial hunch was incorrect, but on further evaluation, coming back this way was the right way to go. If we come down in here and look, actually, see there's a sizable waste dump that came out of what looks like a shaft right there. So I think we found the location of those tunnels. I'm looking forward to checking it out. I'm gonna make my way down right now. Here I am, 2 hours and 1 minute after setting out, and I found the mine that I was looking for. Here's the waste pile right behind me. The tunnel for it is actually right back up in there. There's a big cut right behind us where it looks like they were doing some prospecting. There's some other tunnels and cuts on the hillside back that way. As I was coming down, I saw some more roads back in the mountains back there that go to, I'm assuming, mines that I've never been to. That's going to be a far more in-depth and time-consuming exploration, because I'm going to have to park back there and walk to them. But I'm going to do that in the next few days, and I will upload that video as well. This was by no means some exhausting search for some mine somewhere perched on the side of a mountain that some guy 150 years ago heard about, and that we have really no idea where it is or what to look for. This was a search for a mine that I'd seen once or twice on Google Maps. And well, I didn't know where it was really, because it was probably been a few years since I looked at the images. I vaguely remembered that it was somewhere in the area. Initially, I thought it was about 1.5 miles that way. That was incorrect, but fortunately the miners made a bunch of roads through the hills, so I followed the road back, and by a little bit of luck and some land navigation, I was able to find what I was looking for. So this gives you a little bit of an idea of what we do, and we're trying to look for a mine that we have a vague notion where it is, but we don't really know its exact location. We find an area on the map, we do a little bit of reconnaissance beforehand, and then we set out, and using basic land navigation techniques and just some good old-fashioned mountain knowledge, normally we can find the mines after a few days of looking. There are a few I haven't found yet, but I'm going to find them eventually. So thank you for watching. I'll get the video for that next exploration up as soon as I can. And if you're out exploring these mines, please show them respect, be careful, and report any damage that you find to your local law enforcement authorities. For the curious, there is, underneath all that vegetation there is the shaft that I was looking for. It's long since caved, but we can see the rocks right there. That's the vein that they were following. And then there's the waste pile. And I filmed right down there in that little hollow. And then you can see that cut over there. And then the road that goes up that way. And then looking back over here, that's where those other mines are. We're gonna go check out in the next few days.